this year, Hubert Davis's seat is going to be a little bit hotter. Man, oh man, what's going on, Tar Heel Nation? My name is Nathan. I'm one half of your Hill Brothers. And the topic we're getting ready to talk about today is one that has been going on for the last couple of years. We've even had it here on this channel before. And right now, it's more prevalent than ever. It stokes a fire within our fan base, and rightfully so. It's understandable because the guy, Hubert Davis, is an awesome guy. We love this guy. He has been, he's a fun head coach to watch and to listen to week in and week out. He's a very likable guy, and he's a guy that, in my opinion, hasn't done a horrible job or anything like that. He's had some really good moments, but there has been some inconsistencies. Hubert Davis is coming into this season, and this one in particular, I think, could be the make or break season for Hubert Davis. Now, he is a guy that has been here for North Carolina for a few years now. He's been the head coach for the North Carolina Tar Heels. Came in the first year, got us to the national championship game. The regular season did not go that well for us. It was not a great regular season. It was kind of mediocre at best. You had the Dawson Garcia nonsense going on in the middle of that. Once he finally left, the team caught fire and made their way all the way to the national championship game, unfortunately losing that 15-point lead to Kansas. Then you followed up the next year with a team that everybody was back, unfortunately, outside of Brady Manick, who obviously was the motor for that team that first year under Hubert Davis. That guy was just an animal, man. He could shoot the ball from anywhere. He had that hype spirit about him. He was a spark plug kind of guy. He was just the best kind of player. And they brought in Pete Nance to try and spell for that, and unfortunately it didn't work out as well. Pete Nance didn't end up being the shooter that we were hoping that he would have been, that we kind of saw from Northwestern, and it was kind of like having two bigs out there with Armando Bacot and him. Then you followed to the next season, Cormac Ryan, Harrison Ingram, Jalen Withers. This team was outstanding. Just unfortunately had a great year. Unfortunately, runners up in the ACC championship game to NC State, but made their way down to the Sweet 16 and ran into a much taller Alabama team that Nelson kid just absolutely went flipping bananas on North Carolina in that game. And I think it would drop 30 or something like that in the game against us, and ultimately beat us and sent us home, which is very unfortunate because that team right there was probably one of the best. It was the best team, I think, so far that Hubert Davis has had at North Carolina, and they looked absolutely unstoppable at times during that season. Then you get to this past season that just happened. Coming into the season, you were going to lose Cormac and Harrison, and there was going to be some pieces that you had lost, Armando Bacot as well. And who are you going to get to replace them? And they really bet on Jalen Washington to have take the next step. They brought in Vin Allen Lubin. They brought in, obviously, the returning Elliot Cadeau. You had Ian Jackson coming in, the big time, the 5-star guard that you were looking forward to having. And the season, when we looked at the roster construction coming in, I think a lot of us were very skeptical, to say the least. But there was some optimists out there. I personally was, very optimistic at what the team could potentially do. You heard reports of them being maybe the fastest team going up and down the floor. They were going to have to do something like that, considering their size. They weren't going to be able to defend taller players. And as well, I mean, I'm not saying they couldn't defend them at all, but they weren't going to be able to defend them as well. And unfortunately, this season just didn't pan out. You got into the NCAA tournament, which is good because that was very, very close. And there's a controversy that North Carolina shouldn't have been in. I was of the mindset that they considering the teams that they got just above, I thought they needed to get in that as well. Considering their hard schedule, they played a lot of hard teams and had some good wins in there. Had an overall pretty good record, and Carolina found their way into the NCAA tournament. And I wasn't mad. I didn't think that they were ushered in because of the North Carolina brand per se. A lot of people can argue that. You guys can argue that down there in the comments if you'd like. But Carolina found their way into the NCAA tournament at least, and then got bounced out after the basically the play-in game, basically against San Diego State, where they blitzed them. They faced Ole Miss and just were no match for them, unfortunately. That ended their season. And that leads us to today. The aftermath of this past season has been not quiet, to say the least. A lot of players have left. Ian Jackson is gone. Ben Allen Lubin is gone to NC State, as we've talked about before on this channel. Elliot Cadeau has finally left. You're losing guys. RJ Davis gone. Drake Powell gone into the NBA draft to the Brooklyn Nets. Pick 22 got picked by the Atlanta Hawks, traded to the Nets. RJ Davis signs an undrafted free agent to the Los Angeles Lakers over there. Jalen Withers is gone, and I think that's everybody that is left out of that area. But Jalen Washington as well, off to Vanderbilt. So you've lost a lot of players this past year, and people are kind of wondering, who are you going to get in to replace these players? And we saw the names come in. Andre Vasir, which I don't know exactly how to say his name. Maybe you guys can help me out in the comments. Do like the little thing in parentheses that everybody does. I forget the name of that thing where they actually like sound out what the name would sound like. I need that. Maybe I'm saying it right. I got no idea. You bring him in. You obviously have the recruits and Caleb Wilson, the big-time 5-star. Everybody's looking forward to seeing a little bit of clips. I've saw him already on campus at North Carolina. Holy cow, I'm excited about that guy. Isaiah Dennis, Derek Dixon, you brought him in. Cayenne Evans out of Colorado State. Drake, the Powell kid, Jonathan Powell, there we go, out of West Virginia. You bring in also the Jaron Stevenson out of Alabama, the North Carolina kid, the Chapel Hill kid that Carolina went heavy for, but he committed to Alabama, busted us up, helped those teams bust us up a couple of times, and now he's found his way over to North Carolina as well. Hubert Davis and Jim Tanner, the brand new GM for North Carolina, which is something that they announced during this past season, that they will be bringing in a GM, have done a great job, in my opinion, of rebuilding this roster into hopefully being able to get back to that 2 years ago kind of team, a team that is in the Sweet 16, get North Carolina back in the pictures that we're used to seeing North Carolina get into the ACC championship games, into the NCAA tournaments, getting deep runs into the NCAA tournaments, and making Carolina respectable. And this is where I want to get to today. Hubert Davis's seat, whether we like it or not, or we think it's right or not, whether you prefer it or not, is a lot hotter this year than it has ever been. North Carolina has done what they can do now to bring themselves back into prominence. We saw this on the football side of things. Obviously, we know with Bill Belichick coming in, the NIL money that has went into the football program. But the same kind of thing has been happening over here with North Carolina basketball as well. There was a recent article that came out from the university that with all the revenue share and the surplus of NIL money, the two places it was primarily going was football and basketball. North Carolina basketball is getting the money sent in, and that's been something that North Carolina's never really done before. Went all in money wise with even their basketball tournaments. I mean, we see 8 miles up the road, Duke does it all the daggum time, which kind of helps them get in these Johnny 5-stars that we see all the time. But North Carolina hasn't done that. They've been one about bringing in players that fit the program, that want to go and play for North Carolina and go to the University of North Carolina and be a part of the family. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But in this level, in this day and age of NIL, that being able to win you recruits is becoming less and less of a possibility. And we saw this, which is hence the reason you get in a Jim Tanner to be a general manager. A lot of teams a lot of these collegiate schools have went to GMs. This isn't that North Carolina's kind of late to that party. And they did that this year, and they brought in somebody that can kind of help in that financial world and help Hubert Davis and kind of relieve some of that stress off of Hubert. That way he can primarily focus on going after recruits and Jim can handle with them in the on the back end. Kind of the same way with Michael Lombardi for Bill Belichick, can handle them on the back end. But Carolina has been reported. I don't know if this is true or not, but from all the reports suggest that Carolina this year spent up to $14 million on roster reconstruction. To reconstruct this roster into what we're seeing right now on paper for what North Carolina has this year, they spent upwards to $14 million. With that money, I think they did a good job with it. You brought in size, you brought in shooting, you brought in defense, you brought in some edginess, and I think the team is built very well. But Hubert Davis has got to go make this team work. It has to win you a lot of basketball games and put you in a position where getting into the NCAA tournament isn't a conversation around March. Are you going to get in? Are you not going to get in? Is it a possibility? Are you a bubble team? Carolina should never be a bubble team. Just like we would say Alabama in football should never be a team that's kind of, just in a bowl game, just a bowl game team. They should be in that national picture. Carolina's a blue blood. And being at North Carolina, as we all understand, for basketball, comes with a lot of pressure. Hubert knows this. He was a player here. He's been a coach under Roy Williams for 9 years and been the head coach now for 5? Hubert understands this. And if this team gets down the road in March, and this is barring no injuries. Now, if there's major injuries to players, okay, it's a little bit of a different story. But barring no injuries, barring having a clean year injury-wise, relatively clean year, you got all your guys for most of the year, you've got to get this team. I'm not saying you got to go win a national championship. No, we don't need that. But Carolina's got to have a bounce-back year. It's got to have a year where they're getting to that Sweet 16, Elite 8 possibly. With the roster you've constructed, I don't see how you can. And honestly, with the ACC built this year, quite frankly, I don't see how the ACC championship should be out of the picture. The only team that's really scary, in my opinion, in the ACC this year has got to only be Duke, and that's it. Outside of that, Clemson, unfortunately, has lost a lot of players, so they've kind of fallen off. We'll see what happens with them. NC State, they got a brand new head coach. We'll see what they do. I feel like they'll be a little extra zesty this year. But there's nobody else. Virginia, still rebuilding, trying to figure out what's going on with them. Syracuse, still trying to figure it out. Don't know what's going on out there on the West Coast teams that are part of the ACC, and Stanford and SMU and Cal. Don't understand what's going on with them. They just lost Cal Ostojakovic, or I think his name is, or something of that nature. There's really not much going on in the ACC outside of that. So Carolina can't be a team that's battling within the ACC outside of Duke. They got to be in that ACC championship picture, in that ACC championship game, and also when it gets to the NCAA tournament, you need to be. Oh yeah, Carolina, lock in. You got to lock that thing in, man. You got to be in that tournament, no problem, no hiccups, and get in there, and then see where the ball rolls at. Just see how that goes. We all know the NCAA tournament's crazy and teams get beat and this, that, and the other thing, but I don't think Carolina can afford to be an early exit out of the NCAA tournament this year. Hubert Davis needs some wins. He needs some big wins to win over this fan base, keep the momentum for him in this fan base, and show them, okay, all right, it's all right, we're good here. Because this up and down roller coaster that we're on every single year is not a good thing. We as North Carolina fans, and I'm pretty sure I can easily say we in this, are not very happy, considering what Twitter looks like every time North Carolina basketball goes out there and the ball rolls out and we see this roller coaster up and down. A lot of people are sick of this. A lot of people, a lot of heads at North Carolina are also sick of this. This is a fact. This is a known fact. There are some people, some high up people in that organization that are not happy that Carolina basketball finds themselves in this situation and has been on this little roller coaster. And with bringing in Jim Tanner, and you spent $14 million to reconstruct this roster, Hubert Davis has got to make it work. I like Hubert Davis. I like him a lot. He's got to find a way to make this thing work. Because if not, I don't think that North Carolina will continue to have Hubert Davis as their head coach. I think this is a make or break year for him. Considering you brought in Tanner, considering you brought in the $14 million, considering you on paper you've done really good. And I say on paper because we don't know what the team looks like yet. But this team really looks good, in my opinion. I'm really excited to see what this team does, come late fall. You got to go make it work. I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Tell me if you think I'm crazy. Tell me what your thoughts are on Hubert Davis. Are you excited with him? Do you think that this conversation about him being on the hot seat is dumb, or you agree with it? Where are you at on it? I want to hear your thoughts down there in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hubert Davis finds himself in a very sticky situation, and if it's another bad year, I personally don't see Hubert Davis surviving it. Depending on, and I say it's only a bad year if your players get hurt, which you don't hope that at all, of course. But if there are injuries or major injuries, different story. He's got a full healthy team with the talent that he's put around, and they still are a bubble-ish team and maybe don't make the tournament, which I don't see that happening, or even a first-round exit out of the NCAA tournament after being a bubble team like they were this past season. It's not going to go good for Hubert. It's not going to go good. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, go Heels.
This is the Sunday Tar Heel. What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? Nathan and Alan here. We are your Heel Brothers. It is Sunday, July 6th, 2025. And Alan, did you just roll out of bed, brother?
No.
No? Your hair's doing a little funky, spiky deal here.
Yeah.
What's up with that, man?
I got places to go after this.
Do you?
Yeah.
You gonna do your hair before? Because I gotta go places too, man.
No, it's dead. You just up.
You must have one of them filters on.
Yeah, I got one of the filters
on. Oh man, dude. Hasn't this been a week for the North Carolina Tar Heels and for this channel, as a matter of fact? It's been a great week for us. Man. The video you guys just saw coming into the Sunday Tar Heel was the video that we did about Hubert Davis, or that I did about Hubert Davis this past, I think it was Tuesday. And boy, it caused as it always does, just a spark of
a squawk hoggle, maybe?
Yeah, dude. And
squawk hoggle.
I was gonna make a separate video for this. And honestly, I got back late in the night that I was going to do it. So I said, bump it. I'll just wait and do it for Sunday Tar Heel. And I'm actually glad that I did that because more of this has come in. And we're going to have to deal with this at a certain point in time when I just want to talk about North Carolina and just super cool stuff. And Thaddeus Dixon just made a super cool statement that I really want to talk about right here, and just a little bit about the football team responding to Great Day Tar Heel on Twitter. We'll take a look at that right here in just a little bit. Some people have to act stupid. That's what starts off here. Alan, I don't know if you have seen this, but I'm actually going to quickly bring this up. So every time Hubert Davis is talked about on this channel, it's been by me, and I have talked about it a couple of different times. Hey, is he the right guy to lead? I did a video like that a couple of years ago. We've been doing this channel for almost 2 years now. It'll be 2 years next month. And think about it. The year in which that we started is the year that the Harrison Ingram year. That was great. Harrison Ingram and all those guys coming in. And hey, we're super excited about what's going on with Carolina basketball, because basketball is looking really good. And it was coming off of that really bad year where North Carolina was the number one team in the country coming in, and then fell all the way out and didn't make the postseason tournament in the NCAA. And there was some conversation about Hubert Davis, and all I was doing was having a conversation, just giving my thoughts and opinions on that conversation, where I brought up all the points that everybody talked about. But then I gave my opinion at the end, where I said, hey, I think he's the right guy to lead this place. And people wanted to hop on there because people don't like to listen to the full context of something. They like to listen to like the first couple of minutes and just make a dictation there. Like, oh, this is, he just hates. And once again, this happens. And I want to show you guys this. That way you know what's happening. So we're going to take a look really quickly here at the comments for this video. So I want you guys to zoom in right here.
You're going to hold you got the receipts.
Yes,
the receipts.
Yeah. I want people to see this. So, a commenter commented on this video. Hubert Davis' seat will be extra hot this season. That was the title of the video, and it said from at Shanti Rosemond 8894. I think, or Shantae. I don't know. I think I'm saying that right. I don't know. I'll probably get called racist for saying that too. He commented, I never seen a fan base that want a coach fired so bad. And it has nothing to do with what he has done on the job. It has everything to do with his rates. ... It's sick. He's not going anywhere. Stop making these negative videos. Now, hold on a second. Before we get into this here, Alan, you just listened to the video, and the video is tagged in the description below. Stop what you're doing if you haven't. Go listen to that full video and then come back to me and rejoin me here at whatever minute mark this is on the YouTube video that you guys will see later. What did I say exactly about his race in that video, Alan?
I didn't hear anything about race or color.
Neither did I. Evidently, he knows what I said more than I did.
Gender.
I didn't say nothing about gender. I didn't say nothing about his race. I never said anything about that. I purely spoke about production. So let's go back to Mr. Shanti Rose here. If I could find the daggum. Here we go. Yeah, let's go full screen on this bad boy. I asked the question, who brought up race? What was brought up was performance on the court. And at Diane, we're going to go through all these comments, by the way. Dianelle Walker, again, I hope I'm not butchering your name, 9762 says, I'm a black American male, and I want nothing more than Davis to be successful, but he's had a lot of judgment decisions that are questionable. Example, the Stanford game, UNC won at one point with 7 seconds remaining, and Stanford had to go to the length of the court with no timeouts. Coach Davis called a timeout during to draw up a defense, which allowed Stanford to figure out what they wanted to attack UNC with 7 seconds remaining, which they ended up. The ball stayed in the Stanford's player's hand, and he dribbled the length of the court, scored on Seth Trimble. UNC should have practiced a situation where they known what to do without going to a timeout. Okay, there's that. But Shanti Rose finally responds back to me at Hill Brothers. Well, if it's about performance, then he should not be on the hot seat. Unrealistic goals is the problem. I could have told you last year's team would struggle. We had a big man in Lubin who could not catch a pass. Also, let me add in, you had a big man in Jalen Washington who really hadn't shown you that much for you to believe so much in him that you turned down other recruits and other transfers to come in, which we thought were outbidded by us NIL-wise. We come to find out that that was not the case. That was a lie. They did not outbid us. They simply just said, screw it. You're wanting to put me on a reserve role. I'm clearly showing you that I'm better than this guy, and you're going to believe in this guy. I can understand why I can understand somewhat of why you want to believe in Jalen Washington. I had high hopes for the kid myself, but you had to take what you had for what you had and just bring in the guy and say, you know what, let's have some competition here. Let's see what's going on here. Anyway, I digress. We had Elliott, who turned the ball over a lot. Now, Elliott had a bad year last year. I will say that, because the year previous to that, he actually had pretty good. He was pretty daggum good. We thought he was going to be amazing last year, which is not a good year for him. Biased refs against us, and a transfer who brought in to hit shots who could not shoot. Keep wishing for a new coach. Now, Alan, I see a couple of things wrong here with what this dude just said. Can you spot them? Oh no, okay. So I'll let me add to it here. So let me go to Shanti's roast here. Let's break this thing down. If it's not about performance, he should not be on the hot seat. Unrealistic goals is the problem. That's our headline. That's what we're rolling with. That's what he leads off with, right? I could have told you last year's team would struggle. We had a big man in Lubin who could not catch a pass. Who brought him in? Let me read my response. Is he not a big part of the reason those players are here? He brought them in, passing on plenty of others to choose the ones that you saw. Players do have to play, and that is true, because that is true. A guy like Elliott Cadeau last year having a bad year, you got to settle down, man. You got to understand when it's your night and when it's not your night. And there was a lot of forced dribble nonsense that we saw last year that was talked about all throughout the season last year, okay? But coaches have to put their teams in the best positions to win. Not once did I say in the video not a single word about wishing for a new coach. What did I say in that video, Alan? I said that I thought that this year he brought in some really good pieces. Me and you have talked about this with Linzel of 94 feet of UNC. I said that so far that he has done a really good job of rebuilding this roster. Now, is there some question marks about maturity and experience? Absolutely. You've brought that up a couple of times since we've been talking about this. But I think that the pieces that are there are really daggum good, along with the recruits. But let's just throw that out the window for a second. Let's go back to Rosemond here. What would I say? All I did was point out the obvious and point out the conversation that is going on behind closed doors. Don't leave points out to push some sort of agenda that no one said anything about. And you guys can go on to the video yourselves and actually relook at those comments, all of them in full order and everything, because they're honestly, they're hilarious. But let me just point something out to people. I'm getting sick and tired of every time that Hubert Davis is brought up, this whole race deal gets brought up. And the people want to leave out what is said and what is not said. Like I said, we've been doing this channel for about 2 seasons or two years now. 2 years next month. I think it's August 23rd, I think, as a matter of fact, is our birthday. Happy birthday, us. Go us. Hey, all the good jazz. In that 2-year span, we've been able and been blessed enough because of you guys helping us become as big as we are, with now 1,400 of you guys subscribed to the channel. And then you got plenty others between TikTok and Instagram and Twitter and all this, that, and the other stuff. You guys have been able to push us into a position that we're able to have some conversations with some very knowledgeable people about the University of North Carolina. People that do get to hear the stuff that goes on behind closed doors, that get to hear these kinds of things. And you know what? We can't just tell you everything that they tell us, but sometimes I can hint around something. And right here in this moment, I'm trying to hint to you, hey, this is a conversation that is going on behind closed doors. There are people who are pissed behind closed doors at the University of North Carolina, which you guys can't see. I've got a nice little picture of right here behind me. And when you guys want to bring up race, who in the hell said anything about his race whatsoever? I like Hubert Davis. Hubert Davis is a good Christian man, and I absolutely respect his morals and everything that has to go along with it. He is an awesome leader of – I see it's hotter than Coach K's breath. There we go. So it's the Tar Heel tantrums. I'm having a tantrum, it would seem right now, because I'm sick and tired of daggum people coming in here, and just because I'm white and I don't look like Hubert Davis, that because I'm bringing up something that is a conversation amongst plenty of people, go on Twitter, go on any outlet whatsoever, message boards inside Carolina, the former Tar Heel Illustrated, you could go on there and you could see the message boards on there. You can see where people are having conversations. People in the radio business are even having conversations about this right here. It is a legitimate conversation that is going on. I personally, all I did was bring up the conversation, bring up the points that people are making, and then gave my opinion at the end. And what was my opinion? I said that he's doing a great job, but here's the deal with bringing in talent this season. Let me preface that. With bringing talent this season, he's doing a absolutely great job. But here's the problem. We have to acknowledge that this has been the norm at North Carolina basketball over the last 4 years, now going on 5. Carolina, 3 out of the 4 years that Hubert Davis has been the head coach of the Tar Heels, has been on the edge of their seats on Selection Sunday. Tell me I'm wrong. They have been on the edge of their seats, not knowing that they were going to get in or get out. They were a preseason number one team in the country and went out. They were the first team to do that since the tournament got expanded to 64 teams back in 85. I think it was 85 or 89, somewhere along that line. First team ever to do that. This past season, you're lucky as hell you got in. You were the last team in. And people wanted to have a conversation about the other teams that were left out up under North Carolina. I thought out of those teams, Carolina should have been in over those teams. That was my personal opinion. I remember saying that. If you don't believe me, go back and look at our videos. You will find it. I promise you. It is there for you to listen. Do your research before you try to come in here pushing some dumbass agenda saying, "Oh, you just don't like him and you're racist because of it." No. I'm not. I like the guy. I hope he succeeds. I want him to succeed. I want someone in the Carolina family, a guy who came to North Carolina, balled out, went to the NBA, balled out, came back, helped Coach Roy Williams win national championships in the 9 years that he was an assistant coach before becoming the head coach. I want to see that guy succeed. He stands on principle. He stands on his morals and values. It's shown across the team, and I like it. I like the fire that's in him, and I'm really hoping that this year is a good year, because if it is not, the conversation's going to come back, and this time he might not make it through it. That is a possibility. That's not me saying that because I hate him or because I want him gone. You can disagree with me. People can disagree with me all they want to. I just can't stand this whole racist narrative that comes along with it because I look different than him. And all I'm doing is just bringing up the conversation, the points in it, because it's a valid conversation. It is a legitimate, valid conversation. I don't like it, but it's an obvious one. It's a very legit one to have. And if you want to come in here, you want to spill some racist nonsense, go get a hobby, go do something, go learn to crochet, go knit. I don't care. Go do something. Get off this stupid. The people that do this nowadays, it just gets on my flipping nerves. Go listen to the full entire context, listen to the full video, and then come back to me. And then if I bring up something legitimately racist, which you're never going to see that happen anyway, if anybody knows me that's been here for the last 2 years, then you can bring it out. Until then, sit down, shut up. You can agree with me if you want to. You can disagree with me. There were people in there that said he was a horrible coach. I saw that consistently like that. I disagree completely with them. I got no problem with it. They just disagreed. They aren't coming in here saying, well, you just want another coach. You're just wishing for a new coach. You're racist for doing it. Shut up. That's all I got. Anyway, that's just me. Thought I should bring that up for everybody to listen to. Alan, thoughts?
People are dumb. I don't know.
Oh,
but
sorry.
I don't know. You obviously let it bother you. at the same. It's just, and it was your video. Maybe if it was my video where people, maybe I'd be upset too. But I don't.
Yeah.
For the most part, I think our viewers came in the comments, like came to our, like went to bat for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I I don't know. I just take, me personally, I just take the Joe Rogan approach. I just post and ghost,
Yeah.
if
And a
you,
lot of times I honestly do that, but I've
like,
saw this
negativity
racist
is going to
narrative.
happen, and there's always one person there. I mean, it's true. There's always somebody that's going to have something completely off the wall and nonsensical to say,
Yeah.
and then basically you just can't give that person a voice. But I understand that you wanted to, I understand that you wanted to get that off your chest because you was frustrated about it. But
Oh yeah, that gets on my
I,
blessed nerves. I can't stand that because that is such a go-to with everything nowadays. And I'm talking about in real life, everything. Such a go-to.
yeah,
There are times when that's happened that you do need to call stuff like that out. When there are legit racial comments that are made, that is one thing.
yeah. I
When you're
mean,
talking
there
about
was,
somebody's job and you're talking about the conversation that is being had about his job, and you bring up the points, and I don't even agree with them. All I've said is that I hope that that he's able to win this year, because the conversation behind closed doors is that of which, hey, if this doesn't get righted, if we're not consistent to begin with, then we're going to have some issues, and we're going to have to figure something out, because Carolina is not a bubble team. Look at Kellen DeBoer right now at in Alabama. One season going 9-3, and everybody's like, is he going to be able to get it done? Can he even do it? You're following a Hall of Fame coach. Now that comes with some very unfair expectations. We understand this. We absolutely understand this. But they're still there. North Carolina's a blue blood. They've won multiple national championships. They're always in the conversation. It is a rare time that Carolina is in a predicament that you're seeing, like right now. I have literally right here pulled up on a tab, and we can pull it up and we can go through it if you like. Of each season under Roy Williams to now. I pulled it all up. I didn't go to it. I don't feel like I have to, but we can. Because I heard people over there on TikTok people, you never commented on Roy Williams like this. I wasn't doing this show when Roy Williams was the head coach for the North Carolina Tar Heels, you freaking idiots. I mean, come on now. Come on. Come on. We can disagree. No problem. I've saw a lot of people say, hey, he's a horrible coach, this, that, and the other thing. Hey, I don't agree with that. But hey, that's their opinion. This race deal, because you're coming after me? Nah. I'll make you look like an idiot. But that's all I got today. Alan?
So that's what today's show was about?
No.
Okay.
No, we got some actual cool stuff that I was hoping just to get into, to begin with. And I'm ready to get to that if you are.
Yeah, I was ready to get to that 10 minutes ago.
Sweet. Well, here we go. So, North Carolina football is getting ever so closely to us. It is coming closer and closer and closer. And we've been talking about it over the last couple of weeks. We talked about Gio Lopez in the quarterback room the other week. And that's been a lot of fun. And it's getting close to time, not too far away, but close to time to when it's going to be season predicting time. Well, our good friends over there at Great Day Tar Heel went ahead and took a minute to do that already this week. And I want to pull this up for you guys. That way you can see. Oh, wait, there we go. Here we go. Get this. Here we go. All right, so Great Day Tar Heel did this I think the 2 hours ago. He says, I feel like 9-3 is more likely than 10-2, but who would be the third loss? What's your predictions for this year? So if we see here, I'll pull this picture up. He has the 3 losses that he has is Clemson, Syracuse, and he's got a 10-2 record here.
Yeah.
Okay. So he was having a question. It feels like a 9-3 is more likely than 10-2, but what your predictions would be. So if I was him, I would probably guess that the third loss would probably be UCF, quite frankly. That would be just me. But that's what Great Day Tar Heel posted just a little bit ago. Well, glory behold, there was a comment that was made by someone very familiar with the North Carolina football team, because he is one of the stars that came to us, which is Thaddeus Dixon. And hopefully you guys can see this. But Thaddeus Dixon saw this post, commented, said 12-0. I truly believe every game is winnable. Need y'all on the same page as us. Alan, what do you make of Thaddeus Dixon's comments, brother?
At the sound of not being pessimistic, I think every Division I player thinks that their team can win all the games.
Yeah.
Every team wants to go undefeated at the beginning of the season. And I think that he has a lot of confidence, and I'm sure he sees more than what everybody else is seeing. But to pull a Tommy Ashley and predict a 12-0 season is out there. I don't think they're going undefeated. It can easily be 10-2, and it can easily be 8-4.
Well, I gotta say this.
It could be 7-5, actually.
That would be. You'd have to show me where that comes from. But
TCU, NC State, UCF, Clemson, Syracuse.
Yeah, absolutely not.
You say that.
No, that would be sinister. That would absolutely be sinister. I'll tell you this much. I love that comment from Thaddeus Dixon. And this kind of goes back to a video that I made a number of weeks ago when we got Bill Belichick and players in like their first summer interviews. It's the first time that we had gotten players under Bill Belichick. It hadn't, it had just been him or Michael Lombardi that's been doing the little interviews from time to time, very rarely when we get them. But a number of weeks ago, they had all of them. They had players. They had Thad. They had Will Hardy. They had Christo Kelly. I think one or two more. Jordan Shipp. And being able to listen to them. And what I took from it was there was a confidence that was resonating with me. And I think a lot of people, when you listen to the players, Bill Belichick is one thing. The players are another thing. And we've saw many player interviews, and I listen to every single one of them all the time. I want to hear what the players got to say. I want to hear their attitude. I want to hear their optimism. You can hear confidence in their voice, but you can also hear forced confidence, saying like, oh, let me just do this because the cameras are rolling. We saw a lot of that, or personally to me, I gathered a lot of that out of the players, a lot of the player interviews under Mac Brown, especially when like there was expectations on them. Personally, I think right now coming into the season with Bill Belichick, and Alan, you can tell me what you think as well. Under Bill Belichick, we've been 9-1 before. We've been 6-0 before in the expectations. Everybody's watching us. But I don't think the expectations have been as big for North Carolina football as maybe they've been since the 90s. And I'm counting in the Drake May year. I'm counting both Drake May years when they were 9-1 and 6-0. The expectations of that was, hey, that's pretty good, but the expectations are extremely high for North Carolina right now because you got Bill Belichick. And you got to win. And people are predicting, hey, Carolina should go win. They got Bill, So those players got to be under immense pressure, but they seem very cool, calm, and collected. And I like this, knowing the style of player that Bill and Michael are going after. I like it. I like this comment. To me, this gets me a little bit more excited for that Monday night. What about you?
Oh yeah, no, I don't mind the comment. The comment's great. I mean, I'm glad your players feel that way. And as far as the expectations, the expectations can be high, but I think they're unfair expectations. I mean, he's never coached college before. He's never coached college kids before. You don't know how the college kids are going to respond. You don't know if his style of play is going to translate to the college level. Yeah, so I mean, as high as the expectations may be, I don't know if they're fair ones. Yeah, so I mean, the media can say 12-0. The media can say whatever they want. You don't know until you know, and you can't bookend this season just because it's Bill Belichick. Because it's Bill Belichick doesn't automatically make a team that doesn't know how to win winners.
I don't think anybody's booking it in. I think a lot of this has to be do with mindset and attitude as to which you're coming into the season with. Thaddeus Dixon's a guy who's played on a national championship game team. He played in the national championship against Michigan with Washington. He saw the big lights and he knows what it takes to get there. And for him to be open and willing to say that, to me, speaks volumes. Because he didn't have to comment on that. He didn't have to say anything. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to the national championship game. Don't get me wrong, but for him to speak out like that is I like that mindset. I like that attitude because that attitude, as him being one of the captains, him being one of the more experienced players on this team, that attitude's permeating throughout that entire locker room, especially on that defense. The defensive side of the ball has been where we had our biggest issues. Has been the defensive side of the ball. And I'm very excited to see what happens through that. Is this ultimately, I think this is something that we're going to look back on. Was that just a comment that was made? Or was that him letting us into what's going on behind closed doors, saying, hey, we believe that we can go beat everybody and watch us? Because he says, I want y'all on the same page as, let me make sure I quote him right. Need y'all on the same page as us. I like that. God, I like that. That is awesome. And a mindset like that can do wonders for you. A mindset where hey, you don't intimidate us. That's saying something. If that attitude really does come in, hey, sky's the limit. Go let the ball roll. See where it lands. And but yeah, I like that. I like that a lot, and it's got me a little bit more excited for football season. I mean, I'm excited to begin with, and I don't even know what the heck I'm going to predict yet. I'm kind of back and forth between optimism, reality. Where should we be? I'm trying to look at the entire roster. I'm curious as I'll get out. I know for sure I don't have a perfect season. I know that's ruled out for sure. I don't even know if I have an 11 or a 10 win season. We'll find out. But I do think coming into the season, this team should win a number of games considering the schedule. There are some tricky ones. There's some hiccup games. There's some games that Mac Brown would lose. A Mac Brown team would lose. A game like UCF, maybe a Virginia, Duke and Wake, or not Duke and Wake, but Duke and State. You know, what are you going to do? Those are grind them out games. Now that Duke's got the victory bell, and they got that mental edge. Here they come. You know, we got them. We got North Carolina. We finally got them. Now we're gonna, now they got to come take what's ours. Here we go. So I don't know. I like that though, and I'll be curious to see if that mindset really sticks because, boy, Carolina's needed that. God, they have needed that. Certain guys on our teams have had that. Guys like Kamen Rucker, Powell Eccles, Cedric, Drake, Amarian, those kind of guys. Rest team hasn't. A lot of other players haven't. So,
what makes Dixon different?
Just
what
seeing
makes
he's been to the championship game. He knows what it takes to get there. And to know that, him saying, we need you on the same page as us, that's a very unified thing. That he didn't have to make that comment. That's not him being in front of the media. That's him being on social media and saying, hold on a minute. You get with us. That's the reason. That's just me. That's just my first thoughts and opinions on that as well.
Yeah, I'm just tired of winning the off seasons. Need to do more winning during the season.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and you've definitely got to win this year. You know, you gotta win a good number of games. You got to win a ton of games. That is for sure. But Jesus, what was that? Like a wind up for that bad boy. You look like a Circus Soleil type of deal. I mean, you're like a ballerina move to wind up to blow the sneeze. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Oh, mate. Hey, did you see my most hated teams?
I started watching some of it this morning, but I saw the video clips you sent. I haven't watched the full video.
No.
No.
That was some fun. Hey, since we're on this, top 3 most hated teams not in the ACC or rivals. Give us from least hated to most. Mine was go ahead.
Least to most.
Least to most. I had 2 honorable mentions, and then I had my bottom my 3.
Yeah, I saw your honorable mentions. I didn't understand Ole Miss. I didn't.
That was Lane Kiffin, 100%.
Yeah,
just Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, but
I can't stand that dude. I absolutely hate him. He gets on my nerves.
So this is just your personal. It's not like UNC. Like,
yeah, 100%.
I don't know. I guess we'll go. I guess Auburn can be on there for the game against North Carolina when the basketball team had the flu, and Auburn refused to miss anything from beyond the 3-point line and sent Kobe White to the NBA early.
Yeah.
Could go with that one.
And also dumpstered us this past year too.
Yeah, Nate Oates and Alabama can go straight to hell.
That's on my list. You should know who my number 1 was.
I'm gonna go with LSU and the baseball team. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I don't like them. I don't like them either.
Dang. I did
Yeah.
Ole Miss and Creighton were my honorable mentions. Ole Miss just because of Lane Kiffin, and I said that one is in there because I think the national world can't stand him either. Nobody can stand that dude. But then Creighton because of Kendall Marshall and what happened there, and
Yeah.
then I went Bama, ECU,
Yeah, I
East
saw that one.
Carolina. That's the one
Oh,
you saw.
I saw your editing videos of that one.
Yeah, that's good. And South Carolina.
Yeah.
Did you see the? Did
I'm a
you
little too
saw
attached.
the?
Yeah, I saw it. I don't understand it. I guess the Gamecock behind the state of North Carolina. I'm not sure if he was using that as like saying that they own the state of North Carolina because of. I'm not sure what that was entailing.
Evidently, there was a recruit that committed to them over NC State and Virginia Tech, I believe.
So
He
that's
was
what.
from Durham.
Oh, so yeah. See, I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know that till later on.
Yeah, I didn't know. Like, I didn't know the context. It looked retarded.
Yeah, it was AI and it was stupid.
I just let it go. I don't know. I mean, they're annoying, but they're not really relevant in anything.
That's what makes them
So
even more annoying. Is they don't shut up ever. They never shut up. East Carolina the same way. I used to like East Carolina until I got around East Carolina fans. I just don't like them anymore. It's annoying. But I thought about doing a flip flop to that, like teams that I like.
oh yeah.
Do you have a top three
Just
teams that you actually like outside of North Carolina in the
like.
ACC? And obviously, rivals, you don't have to put that in there because duh.
Let's see. That's a good question.
Yeah. I know I've got two off the top of my head. One of them being in the state.
Coastal. One of them's Coastal. I know.
Oh, that could be my third one. Sweet.
Oh well.
There's three.
I guess Clemson's your other one.
No, Clemson's not in it. I'm not an ACC nor.
Oh yeah, guess that.
Well,
guess that
rivals,
one.
obviously.
Well, I'm not
This
going
is
to
out
keep
of
guessing.
conference.
I'm not going to keep guessing yours. Let's see.
We're Coastal, yeah. I can roll it.
When Saban coached Alabama, I didn't mind watching them play.
You don't want to root for your patented favorite drunkards that you like to talk about?
Georgia.
That is not my quote, ladies and gentlemen. That is it. That is an Allen quote.
They are a school full of drunkards.
Oh gosh.
They get drunk and just drive around. Then show up on game day ready to play though, I guess. Let's see. No, I don't. I mean, everybody. I mean, you see like these big games, like especially during the football season, like a number one versus a number two. Ooh, I want to watch that because that's going to be good football. Then you like inevitably like you pick one you want to win or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't have a favorite. Like, I don't like other college teams. It's not like I'm going to go buy a Alabama T-shirt because I like watching Alabama football when they play against number two, whatever else. Or
Right.
it's just a big time. I like big time games. That's just me. I like big time matchups.
Yeah. Well, honestly, for a
But
top three of mine, I have to pick. You reminded me of Coastal. That one, I do like Coastal a lot. State of South Carolina, they're my favorite South Carolina team. I just like them over everybody. Well, I was a Tech fan, so I don't mind pulling for them. I don't mind pulling for Georgia Tech until they face us, and then they're kind of annoying. But yeah, I can go with you. But no, I have to say Oregon, App State, and Coastal.
that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon for the uniforms, I guess.
They do have very eye-catching uniforms, but I don't know. I've just always really enjoyed Oregon. Whoever plays Duke, whoever plays State, Maui College. I love it. That's good. That's good. I like that. App State, because I like their moxie. They're just a team that just doesn't care, man. They're just going to come at you. And like the North Carolina games that we just faced against in that series, every single game was a heart attack. And I liked it, honestly. Like after the game was over, I'm like, man, that was a great game, you know. But geez, and I like App State in their moxie over there, so I always root for them. You know, all the time, honestly, and unless they're facing North Carolina, of course. Like I was rooting heavy for them against Clemson last year. That obviously didn't turn out well. But Oregon, no, I like Oregon a lot, man. I'm hoping that Dan Lanning can get them over the hump, over there, and they can do something prominent at least once. Because boy, they're always right there, and they just seemingly just cannot get it done. It's very odd. But North Carolina and Oregon played that bowl game a few years ago in the Holiday Bowl. It was awesome, man. I enjoyed it. Great game, and I thought Carolina should have won that game, but hey, they choked it at the end. They let Oregon roll right down the field on them. And I was actually really, I remember during baseball season, I was hoping that Oregon would come out of the Eugene Regional and it'd be North Carolina and Oregon. I was really looking forward to that.
That would have been nice. Maybe North Carolina could have won that regional.
Yeah, no joke. So I was looking forward to that, but then Coastal as well, just because state of South Carolina. I like Coastal; they're pretty cool. I have a lot of dealings with Coastal fans, and I have a lot of friends that went to Coastal, and they just all of them been pretty cool. So I'd like to go down there. We've been invited by the Strut podcast to go down there and check out a game. Which now they have free concessions. I might have to try that out.
There you go. Go try some free hot dogs and drinks.
That's it.
Every
time I go into that Coastal store that's at Broadway at the beach that I love, I love that whole area. I go in there and I'll just walk around, and they're always super nice to me. So I bought a T-shirt.
I know. I saw it. You wore it the day North Carolina lost in baseball.
Yep, because I was pulling for Coastal. Said they would take care of Arizona, and they sure did. Gotta love it. Anyway, hey, you gotta throw it around from time to time, man. Hey, what do you make of Steve Newmark becoming the new AD for North Carolina? That's also some news that happened this week.
I haven't even dived into it, to be quite honest.
Former Roush Fenway president of 15 years. I got 2010.
Yeah, that's interesting. I guess if you can run a race company, you can run a college athletics division.
So do you know much about him?
Well, no. I saw it, sent it to you, and I haven't researched it because it's still 2025, and Bubba still has a chance to run college athletics at UNC, I guess.
Well, Bubba's not leaving. You do know that, right?
Yeah, I saw that senior advisory role.
Right. So he's going to be working, with the chancellor and the AD. So he'll be working with Steve Newmark. But Newmark is brought in strategically for the to generate revenue. That's where we all know that's where college athletics is going. Revenue. You need sponsors, this, that, and the other thing. So right now, Newmark, you know NASCAR. You ain't running a car unless you got a good sponsor, right? You need some good sponsors. Now with this, I'm a huge RFK fan. Hopefully it translates over to UNC. Absolutely, man. I was a Carl Edwards fan of Roush Fenway for a little while there.
Not me.
I definitely was. I love that dude. You were a Gordon guy. I like Jeff too. He was pretty cool. He was pretty all right fella. Remember being with you at Carowinds when you flipped out and all of a sudden he was just standing right in front of you. You're like, Nathan, that's Jeff Gordon. And then we stalkily, I'm going into this. We stalkily tracked him down so you could meet him.
Yep, that's it.
Oh my God, it was great. That was a moment that I will never forget ever. Getting off of the Fury at Carowinds. And Jeff, we were getting on. Jeff Gordon was getting off.
I think that was the All-Star race weekend we was there that Saturday.
It was rainy that weekend, but they were still open. Like it was misty, but it was
He'd already retired anyway. So, but
Yeah,
he
he
was
was done.
still my hero.
Yeah. Wasn't he doing like commentary there for a little while with them?
Yeah, he did a
Or
little
is he still
commentary, but this was even after he quit commentary. Now he's pretty much next in line to take over for Hendrick.
He might do pretty good with that.
He'll
But
be he'll buy. I don't know when Rick Hendrick steps down, Jeff will be the next in line.
I figured it would have been Dale, but hey.
No.
Or I don't know. I don't know if they like to get into it in their off time. So I mean, I figured Dale would just because he seems like more of a businessman too.
Well, no. Dale had his own race team, and I don't know if it's still in the series or not. I don't know what they call it now. The junior varsity series, and then he did have it in the Cup series.
Xfinity, like the Xfinity series.
Yeah, Xfinity. There you go. Earnhardt Ganassi, but I think Ganassi sold. So I'm not sure. I know he had his own race team at one point, but he was never, because he raced outside of Hendrick. Gordon was right there. Was Hendrick from day one.
Yeah.
With Terry Labonte, 524, Ricky Rudd, maybe. I can't remember. That was a long time ago. That was in the 90s.
That's a long. Yeah, you're way over my head.
But then Gordon actually owned the 48 team and brought Jimmy in, and had to watch Jimmy literally kick his rear end for like 6 or 7 years in a row. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all profitable and you're all teammates, but I guarantee you, he hated it.
I remember wasn't it like his last year? He got really he was like third to winning the championship. He was really close.
Yeah. His last season, he made the Final Four in Homestead, and I was going to go I think was that 07?
No, I think that was like 2011, 12. Hold on a second. I'll find out.
But yeah, he made it all the way to Homestead. Because when North Carolina, when NASCAR went to the spoilers, the
2015,
the next gen cars with the spoilers, that's when Jimmy Johnson was able just to dominate everybody.
Yeah,
that's when Jimmy was most dominant. Then they went to that playoff, and Jeff was never able to win a NASCAR championship under the playoffs, under the current current playoff system.
Mm-hmm.
And then the season before, he was in line, but then Keselowski wrecked him in Texas. And then when they went to, I think it was either Martinsville or Phoenix, was an elimination race, Tony Stewart used the wall in another car. He had to pass, Gordon was up by a point to go to the finals. And then Stewart, or the next playoff run, the next 3 races of the playoff run, and Stewart had to pass the car in front of him, and just car tomorrow. There you go, Ron. And Stewart ran it down in the corner, bounced off the car, bounced off the wall, and used up the car he had to pass to kick Jeff out. But it was Jeff got in a fisticuff with Keselowski at Texas after he wrecked him, because Jeff was running good. He was in the top 5, and he ended up being finishing close to 30th. And,
oh man,
and it knocked him all the way out of the put him on the cut line.
Yeah,
just because
that 24 was always,
and can't
that 24
drive.
car always looked good. Man, it just I don't know. It had aura. That 24 every year it had aura.
The drive to end hunger car.
So
the drive to end hunger car.
There you go. And I remember there was different ones he did. There was a chrome wrap on it at times. All kinds of different things, man. And Carl Edwards, same thing. I love the Affleck. I like the Subway. The Claritin that he would run from time to time. The Office Depot. What was the other one? That was another one that he ran as well. He ran a chrome wrap Affleck one time that looked really good. I used to have a ton of those little cars and a ton of die casts. I got them around here somewhere. I can't remember exactly where. The last die cast that I bought was the one in memory of Kobe Bryant. After he died, they did a specific car for him. And I haven't watched NASCAR in years. It's probably been close to 10 years for me. I was not alive then, Ron. I was not. I was 2000. But
I have his last race at Bristol when they brought back the Rainbow Warrior car. I have that helmet, but this is one of my diecast.
Oh, there you go.
I keep on the nightstand.
Yeah.
Yep.
That, and when we went to the WWE event a couple of months ago, you got to see the Exalta 24 looking like with the flames on the side, like it used to be.
Yeah, William Byron. Yeah.
Yeah. Driving that car.
I don't watch it. I don't watch it as much. Like I'll watch the restrictor plate races. Talladega, Daytona, Atlanta is restrictor plate racing now. They drafted Atlanta now. So Michigan, I think they draft now because of how fast they run.
Okay.
But yeah, no. Then they went down to Homestead his last year, and he just. I knew it was going to be hard because I don't think Jeff only won at Homestead once or twice in his career, and I knew it was going to be tough for him because the half mile tracks he was real hit or miss on, and he missed on his last race of his career to win the championship. I think he ended up third. I think two of the other championship drivers finished ahead of him, but there at the beginning, like the first 50 laps of the race, he looked untouchable. He was leading by a second or so, but then the longer the race went, the worse the handling on his car got. I really thought he was going to go out like Peyton Manning.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, that is true. But all that to say this, he's coming in. Steve Newmark is coming into North Carolina. No, it's fine. It's cool. Get a little NASCAR backstory considering he's coming from that side. Who misses watching the Hills play? Eagles fan. Obviously we do, man. We've been talking about it. There's a bunch of stuff that's going on. Can't wait for football season to get here.
What's really cool about this one? It's actually got when you get brand new tires, they still got the stickers on it. It's got little stickers on the tires.
Yeah. But he's coming in. He's a Chapel Hill native, and he was a part of the group that brought in Bill Belichick. So he's been in and around North Carolina athletics, evidently pretty consistently. So now he's just going to be able to step into this thing. Him being able to work with Bubba Cunningham, because Cunningham's done a good job on the collegiate level of being the athletic director, but here in this changing new era, new market where revenue pushes, I had to be watching UNC play checkers right now, and seeing where Carolina or the college landscape is going. A guy like Newmark is going to be, what Carolina needs. And now you're going to have the best of both worlds because you're still going to have Bubba Cunningham there, and he's going to be working with Newmark, especially in this first season. But then next year, when he officially takes over, Cunningham's still going to be in the senior advisory to the AD and the chancellor. So all this is still going to be able to work together. So that could potentially very well be a two-headed monster.
I think
here's the other hand.
I did something. You still there? I can't hear you.
Yes, I'm here.
I had some stuff on my little touchpad, and I tried to wipe it off, and my screen went all wonky. Anyway, I like this whole sponsorship deal. I think he'll be good in that aspect, just because you got this looming basketball arena thing coming to play. If it's going to be off campus, on campus. If it is off campus, of course, it's going to be all out sponsorship deals. The Jumpman Arena sponsored by whatever, you know. And then
Yeah,
you know
right.
you could see some sponsorships on the football side where the business's logo is painted somewhere on Keenan Field. You know, it's a grass field, so you know, just paint those on there. So yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know if you can put sponsorships on the basketball jersey, like the basketball jersey, like they do in the NBA now, or not.
That would get on my nerves.
Yeah, I mean, it
Straight
would
up.
get them on it, but it's this money is what is drives everything now. Athletics
That
are
is
driven
true.
by money. I mean,
Yeah.
so if
Yeah.
if the college needs money, I mean, if the NBA needs money, so much money that they have to let a logo be put on their team's jerseys. I mean, baseball's doing it. I mean, baseball pays their players hundreds of millions of dollars, and
Yeah.
they have a sponsorship logo on their jersey.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's everything starts at the pros and trickles down, and
And you know, college is becoming more like the pros every single day.
eventually, you know, it's going to start with the on-field stuff. I mean, some of these arenas and some of these stadiums are already sponsored by, you know, outside companies. They're not like Lenovo. You know, State gets a state-of-the-art basketball arena just because of the Carolina Hurricanes. It's not because State's any good. It's because the Hurricanes are pretty good.
Cannot seem to get over the hump, by the way. It gets on my nerves.
Yeah, they can't. They can't. I don't know. That's a whole different story. I don't know. I watch a lot of Hurricane hockey, but I don't know enough about the Hurricanes hockey organization to speak on it. But yes, they do seem to struggle in the postseason.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
But apparently Rob Brendamore and this team was not expected to even make the playoffs this year, but somehow made it to the Eastern Finals. Yeah, season 2 used to Hills football team. Oh wow, that's
Nice.
awesome. That's
Dude.
super cool.
Sweet. By the way, member for a month, Eagles fan. You are flipping an animal, bro. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you. I
Holy
didn't
cow.
even know we had members. That's
Yes,
awesome.
sir. That is awesome.
Shoot far. Geez, that just threw me off. I was like, when it popped up, I was like, why is it green? But now I see you pay to play. Thank you, sir. But yeah, congratulations on season tickets. That's absolutely fantastic.
No joke.
I lost my whole train of thought. Rob Brendamore and the Hurricanes was not expected to be that great at hockey. Well, not great, but you know, legitimate. But the Panthers are just absolute juggernauts anyway.
She's a keeper, Ron.
Yeah, she's a keeper.
Yeah. So,
100%
100%
sponsorships are important. Yeah.
Yeah, sponsorships are huge, and especially, you know, I do think that I wasn't there some type of announcement. I could be completely wrong about this, that I saw that Carolina is looking for a sponsor for Keenan football, like Keenan Memorial, that it would still have Keenan in the name, but there would be a sponsorship like Lenovo Keenan Stadium or something like that. I think I remember there being a report on that. I'll have to ask some people about that because I think that was a legitimate thing, and maybe this kind of plays into the Steve Newmark thing. Yeah, he is coming in. He'll start August 1st, I think it is. Yeah, I think he'll start August 1st, and you know, we'll see what happens there.
Usher Dan.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you know, Bubba Cunningham knows a ton, and it's not like he's just going to be up and out of there. He's gone. He'll still be here. He'll still be at the University of North Carolina. And this, to me, at the face of it, this looks like a really good play by the university to have a guy like that in your back pocket, you know, that wants to get into this and has actually already been around the university and the operations, it would seem, from what we're hearing. They are floating it around. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, I'll be looking forward to seeing what happens with that. But Newmark, I'll be seeing him pretty soon. I don't know. RFK is going to be doing. We'll see what happens with them. I know Jack Roush mentioned doing these videos for. I appreciate you again, Eagles fan. 100%, man. This is you're
Salute. That's awesome. Thank you.
that is legit. But to see what they're going to be doing is going to be kind of interesting. I know Jack Roush made a big long post about Newmark leaving, that Carolina was getting a good one, and so I'll be and for him to be in a position like that for 15 years, I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean,
It's pretty good to say the least. So,
yeah,
hey, we're gonna get out of here, man.
Yeah, if you can get sponsorships to a sport that people have been saying it's been dying for years.
Yeah. Alan, you are catching some.
It's right here. It's just really bright in here. Jesus Christ, is that better, Ron? Fuck's sake. So, you want to see all my flaws, Ron? Here we go. They're right here. I got some sun damage. I got a scar on my eyebrow here. I got some more sun damage over here. I have a lot of gray in my beard. And there's more sun damage here. I got a lot of gray hair up here. Yeah.
We want to thank Eagles fan for the support.
my wife's like, oh hell, what is he doing?
We've been pushing.
Nathan, turn the light off.
We've been pushing for. We thought about hosting a spaghetti dinner at church for Alan on Light.
Jesus Christ.
Eagles fans gonna.
There it is. See, it's here. It's
the same one I got. Oh
it's
my
right
God!
There's Nathan in real life. Yeah. I'll get you set back up here. Gave you a little tour.
Cribs, it's MTV Cribs edition.
And I can only go as far as the laptop will go, and that's not very far right now.
Love the Sundays, guys. Just busting chops. Love you too, Ron. Oh my God!
2 Sundays in a row, people are making fun of how dark it is in here.
I tell you, never buy. Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off. Oh my God!
There you go.
Oh man. Hey, the next 2 Sundays we're not gonna have you.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna be here. So Ron, you don't have to worry about The Walking Dead being filmed.
Yes, I have sent out a couple of messages to some people. I won't name them yet, to potentially take your spot over the next couple of Sundays. I'll be really excited if they come back to me and say yes, because it'll be some very good Sundays, some very interesting Sundays.
What do you mean very good? These aren't good.
Oh no! It'll be some people that know some things, know more things than we do.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Because I got to find somebody potentially.
I mean, pull somebody from the comment section here.
Yeah, I might do that actually. That might be a legitimate thing on a Sunday to bring them in and let them have some fun, man. They showing up and showing out for us, and
pull somebody from the comment section. Be like, hey, you want to fill in for my brother while he leaves?
Yeah. There's another person that I have been thinking about talking to for a while.
You can't bring in professionals.
Well, start calling. You can't
add
garlic in holy water.
I do not like garlic. It's not that tasty.
Nah. Well,
I mean, but I still put it in my hamburger. Got a little bit of garlic powder, a little chili powder.
Yeah. I kind of got away from that. I do a couple other things, some different stuff.
Yeah. No, I like all y'all a whole lot, but I have groceries I need to go buy.
Yeah, and I gotta go. I gotta go up the street to Indian Land. So let's get it. Anyway, we want to thank you guys so much for coming out here with us and hanging out over here at the Sunday Tar Heel, July 6th edition, 2025. We will see Alan. We'll see. Dang, the next time they see you on a Sunday Tar Heel will be close to the end. We'll have already went to ACC Media Day.
Yeah, well, you'll see me at Media Day.
Yeah,
we might have to. Yes, I saw the blood.
Oh my God! These Sundays, we're getting.
I wish I had some vampire teeth handy. I should have got. Man, if Bryson was handy, I could bring his little vampire teeth down. Nathan, turn it off.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna get out of here on recommendations from Alan's wife, my sister-in-law. Anyway, we're gonna thank you all so much for being here with us. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're brand new to the Hill Brothers, be sure hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Go check us out on Twitter, YouTube. We're already on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok now.
Oh yeah, Nathan runs the TikTok. Go check that out.
Yes, I do all these things. Oh man, thanks, fellas. Thank you, Eagles. Thank you, everybody who came out. Ron, Chris, Tar Pit Pod, Tar Heel Tantrums. That was great. Perfect timing, by the way.
That was great. That was perfect time.
Yeah, that was really good. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. And as always, go Heels.
Go Heels.